Gemini, if you've been feeling a deep internal shift, like the old version of you is quietly fading away, this message is for you. Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome to your May monthly tarot reading. If you're new here, welcome to Universal Wisdom Tarot. And if you're returning, thank you so much for your support. If you haven't already, take a quick second to click that subscribe button. It's free, and you'll never miss your spiritual guidance. This month, destiny steps in, clarity arrives, and inspiration sparks. Stick around, my friends, and we'll see what the universe wants you to know. Hey there, beautiful Gemini souls. Welcome to your general intuitive tarot reading for the month of May. Remember to take only what resonates. I've already asked for blessings for the reading, so let's get all the cards out and then we'll connect to the energies. All right, Gemini, so let's look at your main messages. You have the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Swords, you have the High Priestess, you have the Star card. At the bottom of the deck is the Death card. So change. Your month is all about change, and everything could potentially change for you in this month, my friends. But I feel like the Death card is signifying some profound transformation. With transformation, usually we have major endings and new beginnings. And sometimes endings and beginnings are necessary, right? This is a necessary transition, I'm feeling. Nothing is static in life, right? So, we're born, we live, we die. Everything has a life cycle and everything has a change in life. So, we go from one phase of our life from a toddler to a teen to an adult to an older person, right? Or we go from a kindergarten to grade school to high school to secondary school to a university to whatever. So we're constantly in change, and so sometimes these changes are quite necessary for the flow of things to happen. And I feel like for you this is another change, or you're going through some kind of change in this month where you feel like there's some necessary something for you. Okay, now it doesn't have to be at a major level like a stage of your life, but it could be at something, minute kind of level. All right. Now, because we go through change, it also means that we need to release the old so that the new can come in. So perhaps for you, it is a releasing of habits or a releasing of relationships or a releasing of some kind of beliefs that don't really serve your growth anymore. Okay. And when you release the old, then you can make way for the new beginnings. So I feel like there's a bit of a closing of a chapter that's going on here. It's requiring you to accept that it is closing in order for you to move forward. Now, Gemini season does start in the latter half of the month. So I would just say I feel like that death card, it might be related to the fact that the sun enters your zodiac sign and you sort of experience a whole change of mindset, right? When the sun comes into our zodiac sign, it brings us like a fresh beginning. It's like our new year. New Year's obviously happens on January 1st, but for each zodiac sign, it happens when the sun re-enters your zodiac sign. So for you, Gemini, it will happen at the end of or in the latter half of the month of May. All right. So it could be for you that is that whole change of mindset. Okay. I feel like there's a lot of willpower in this month. Okay. And you have the willpower to overcome, objections or maybe your own thinking, or at the very least, you're getting rid of negative thoughts. All right. So you're definitely changing something here in the month. You start off with the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Four of Swords, and the Hangman. So it's not in the first week that everything changes, obviously, because there is that Hangman there. I feel like it begins with the ending or an ending. Okay, so the ending is realized in the first week, but I don't think it shifts until sort of a little later in the month. So I feel like the ending, there could be an ending for somebody at work, because the Eight of Pentacles is often associated with work in the physical world, i.e., your job, i.e., your career, i.e., your change of job. Doesn't mean that your job just ends and there's nothing. I feel like for somebody, it could be it's the ending of a project. Okay, if you don't work, if you're retired, or if you aren't working at present and you're looking for work, you're still doing maybe some projects at home, or you're trying to get a side business going or something. So I feel like that ending is related somehow to the physical world of work. Okay. Now, it could mark the completion of an assignment if you are working. Okay. And you could be waiting for a new assignment. You could be waiting for a new project. You might be waiting for a new job. Okay. Whatever your situation is, I feel like you're being set free. And you're being set free for the new horizons. Okay. So I feel like this is a really ideal time for you to ponder sort of what's your next move and looking at your options, right? And you look at your options with this Hangman from a different perspective, right? Like normally we're standing like this, but the Hangman is upside down. So it's the time to be looking at your options from a different point of view. Now, whatever your situation is, okay, the first week is the week of pause, because that is the Hangman, as I said. It's a bit of a pause button, if you will. All right. And but the pause is sort of necessary, and it's very intentional, and it's a time for you to rest with this Four of Swords. It's time for you to rest. It's time for you to recover. And it's time for you to restore your energy, if you will. Okay. It's the time for you to get a bit of mental clarity when we rest and we sit back and we relax. So if you have been waiting for an assignment, or you are waiting for an assignment, or something's coming to an ending, or you finished a project, take a bit of a break before you start the next thing. Okay. So definitely, if you aren't working and you're looking for work, I'd say enjoy the relaxation, because once things start get going again for you, you won't have another break for a while. All right. So take that how it resonates. So we don't always take the rest we deserve or we need. Okay. So I would just say it's like also a time of powerful reflection for somebody. We get freed from our old routines so we can consider a new direction and redefine our goals. So I would say that this really does beautifully, line up with the theme of your month here, because, an ending is going to clear away the fresh beginning, and now you're on the pause getting ready for the fresh and the new. Okay. In the second week, you have the Eight of Swords here, you have the Six of Wands, you have the Wheel of Fortune. So this Eight of Swords, right, is all about breaking free. Now you're ready to break free, right? If this was holding you back, you are ready to break free and to um, you know, get out from something that has felt made you feel tied up. Okay. It is clarified by the Six of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. So it really signals a breakthrough success here for you, okay? And recognition and a destiny driven opportunity. You finally get out of those things that are holding you back. Anything that's been holding you back, you can now break through that. And it could be a week of really excitement for some of you. Okay, exciting action, something could come along. I feel like there's news there, maybe, or if somebody wants to travel, maybe some fast paced developments that are going on here, because I feel like the breakthrough is like very quick happening here, and it's a lot of victory here. Okay. And the timing is right with that Wheel of Fortune. Okay. It indicates it's also a fated shift for some of you, and that this unfolds, sort of out of the blue. It's like a pair of scissors that cuts all of the ties, all of the things that have tied you up, all of that red tape. I feel like all of that red tape is being cut with scissors, right? And all of it, bing, 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 like in a row. All right. So that something is unfolding here, and some of it could be unexpected. So, but I do feel it's exactly as it should be for you. So the universe really is responding to your willingness to let go here. And this is a turning point. So once you release the old, the new rushes in rapidly, and you definitely start to feel a lot better in that second week. Now, get into the third week. Get the High Priestess, you have the Page of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. So this week centers really around your intuition, and you're feeling very inspired for that new beginning. Okay. The High Priestess always invites us to look inward. And usually it's when the High Priestess comes is when we have very heightened intuition. So we start to see, 11:11 on the clock, or we start to notice patterns of things that we're seeing. You might see, feathers, or you might be seeing money all the time on the ground, or, coins or things like that. Okay. These are the signs that your intuition is telling you, you're on the right track. Okay. So this is a time of emotional awareness. It's a time of inner knowing. So you may feel more like connected spiritually for some of you. You might be feeling more reflective, or um, sort of you're being guided by some subtle inner cues is what I'm feeling. Okay. Now you have this Page of Wands, this Ace of Wands. So there's more of a powerful spark here of inspiration in this third week, and a lot more excitement starts to come to you. You might be having a lot of new ideas flood your mind, and these creative things are starting to pop up. Some creative urges, right? To create something creative new, bold impulses start to emerge. Okay, so you could feel sort of a sudden desire to start something new, or to follow one of your passions. Okay, so if your passion is a creative art, then you might start that up. So this is a moment, I would say, of rebirth. This is sort of when I feel like that shift happens, that change happens more in this third week here. And it's sort of the moment of the transformation, the moment of the change, I'd say. So it's like the breakthrough, which provides the clarity that you need. And from this sort of forward movement onward, I would say, you know which path suits you best. Okay, my friends? I feel like your words open the doors. They help you to negotiate any new prospects you have. I feel like there's a behind the scenes thing that's going on that's going to open the door for the future. Um, and I feel for some of you, you're using your clever wit. Okay. Now, and I don't, normally get that off of these cards, but I'm getting a strong message of that. So the High Priestess tells you when to use your wit and when it's beneficial for you to use it. All right. Now, get to the end of the month. You have the Star. You have Justice. You have the Five of Cups. Some nice restorative ending. To the month. I'd say, there's hope and healing in the Star. There's a lot of renewal energy when we get the Star card, and then a lot of faith in the future is what I'm feeling for somebody. So I feel like if you have gone through a transition in this month, if you've gone through some change, I feel like you're kind of feeling better at the end of the month. It's like you're feeling maybe like you're capable of breathing and deep breathing. I feel a lot of that, and you're breathing and you see the light ahead, if you will. Okay. Justice always brings clarity. Justice is about truth. Justice is about karmic resolution. Okay. But it's also about balance, right? Because there's scales on this card, right? And they're always even. They are not, one higher than the other. So definitely a lot of balance going on there. And definitely saying that for somebody, if you have some kind of legal something going on, just to say that you're very hopeful about that, paperwork, what have you, to be resolved in the end of the month. So, yeah, there could be some important realizations or decisions that come out of that Justice card. Okay, so I would just say, if that is your case and you do have the Justice card, the Five of Cups here says, don't try not to get too emotional over it. That's the first thing. Because all it's going to bring for you is some disappointment or grief. So you might as well just wait to see how it turns out, right? Before you plan the next thing. Sometimes when we start thinking about something in a negative way before it gets resolved, well, we only bring on the negative energy toward that. All right. So I just say, let it play itself out, and not all is lost. That's the message they keep telling me. So just try to stay as positive as you can if you are in some kind of looking for some kind of legal paperwork or something of that nature. You're definitely ending the month wiser. You're feeling a lot lighter, and I'd say you are definitely emotionally freer at the end of the month here. I'd say, this isn't a surface level change that you're making. I feel it's a bit more of a soul level transformation. So May really marks, I'd say, the death of your old self, and you're having the birth of your truest self, Gemini, in the month. All right, I'm going to pull for you now 3 cards from your future higher self. Let's see what your future higher self wants to tell you. Messages for Gemini for May, please. Okay, your 3 messages are as follows. Explore the possibilities. Be patient. Trust the wait. Everything is coming together, and all the right things will come to you in the most unexpected ways. Really 3 lovely messages from your future higher self. And a great way to end your reading. I hope something resonates. Don't forget to click the like, subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel, and I'll see you very soon. Until then, please know I am, as always, wishing you divine light and love.